Authority forecast from meteorologist Amber Wheeler.
Well, the cold front's moving through this weekend, and it does bring a low-end severe weather risk. Now, you can see where we've got that risk. It's mostly for the North Shore, coastal Mississippi. Again, a level 1 out of 5, so a marginal risk. And if you head to the north, that's where we could see our better chances for severe weather. In terms of the threats inside these storms, well, most of them are going to be a pretty typical thunderstorm that isn't going to be damaging, but a few could have some damaging wind gusts. We also have a very low-end tornado threat. We don't have all the ingredients totally coming together, but we certainly are going to watch for that. Heavy downpours, of course, and then a very low hail chance here, not really considering the hail at this point. But in terms of our rain timing, we'll probably see just some scattered showers and storms, really hit or miss through the day on Saturday. So this is about 1 o'clock. This is just a model simulation. So just know that we certainly could see something isolated anywhere around our area, but the front is still well far to our northwest. We're going to continue the isolated chances through the afternoon, and then once we get into the overnight, that's where the front will move in. Now, this front is going to have some very strong damaging winds as it's back towards the northwest, close to Alexandria, moving through Jackson, Mississippi. But what's going to happen is that once this starts to fall apart, and it's expected to as it moves towards us, it will start to lose its steam, so we may not see as strong of storms as folks up towards northern Louisiana into Mississippi, but certainly we'll be watching for those as they do fall south. We'll keep this chance into early on Sunday morning, and then we'll have the rain out of here probably by the time you wake up on Sunday. We'll get that sunshine back through the day, and drier conditions move in through the day on Sunday and stick around for the first part of next week. And notice that through the day on Monday, we're going to start shifting our winds. They're going to eventually come back out of the south. We'll pull some of that moisture back in. Rain chances, they're going to be pretty high for a lot of us tomorrow night, but the chances for a lot of rain are really just not there for all of us. Maybe less than an inch for most, but there are some areas that could see up to a couple of inches. Of course, the models there pulling a bullseye to the south, but we certainly could see some heavy downpours that could give some isolated street flooding for any storm that moves through very slow. Now, behind that dry air is going to make it feel pretty nice on Sunday. So in the morning, we've got those dew points in the 70s, and they start to fall through the afternoon. Lower humidity towards the end of the day, and it continues to fall into Monday. So that's really going to play a role into our forecast low. So we're going to wake up on Sunday morning with temperatures into the 60s for a lot of us. And then on Monday morning, with all that dry air, we really cool down nicely. Lots of 50s, kind of chilly to start the day off on the North Shore, some 50s and 60s in the south. I even think we could see a couple of areas maybe fall to the upper 40s. We'll have to follow that as well. Cold front strengths, of course, they're not always going to be the same, but as we head towards the middle of next week, I think we could get a moderate one. We're under a weak influence or a weak front for this weekend. A moderate front could move through by the middle of next week, where temperatures do fall just slightly below normal. So here's what we have in terms of temperatures. There's our weak front. Behind this, we're still going to heat up on Sunday. And as we get towards Tuesday, still keeping with the 80s, but this particular front could actually bring a little cooler air, and we might even see some 70s for daytime highs as we get into Wednesday. We haven't seen 70s for highs since early May, but as we head towards the end of the next week, we'll start seeing those temperatures pull away from the average back into the low 80s. Just a quick check on the tropics here. No concerns for us. A couple of areas that the National Hurricane Center is watching. Of course, one area off towards the north. You can see here this little swirl that certainly could develop. Watching this wave that is likely to move into the Caribbean and probably will have increasing chances for development. And I want to show you all of the systems that we've had this season so far. Most of them have been out in the Atlantic. And then, of course, this next one here off towards the north, taking a similar path to most. This particular one we're watching is moving into the Caribbean and taking a path that none have taken for this season. Upper 60s to upper 70s at this hour. And tomorrow morning, it's not going to be too bad in terms of temperatures. Still pretty warm, and keep in mind, very muggy to start off your Saturday. And here's that forecast for the next 7 days, upper 80s to the upper 70s. So it will feel a lot nicer into next week. We're back to a much drier period into next week as well. And if you're on the water, a little breezy out there for all those mariners.
All right. I mean, it's going to feel like
a little bit of fall, a hint of fall.
I didn't want to say it too much.
We're waiting on the strong cold fronts, and
Okay.
unfortunately, I just don't see that over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
But the deeper we get into the season, they're gonna come eventually. But
Eventually.
We're getting deeper into October. We're waiting on it.
All right. Well, thank you, Amber. Well,